now ask my colleagues, Sam and Scott from Action in Caerau and Ely, to come and join us. And I'm hoping you're going to be able to hear them. And I'm going to start, I'll hand the mic to you. There's a trowel, by the way. Yeah. If I don't, I'm not threatening him. This is actually what we use to dig. So, Sam, just tell us a little bit about ACE as an organisation and its origins and values first, perhaps.
Yeah, sure, of course. And just wanted to start by saying how delighted I am to be talking to you guys in Glasgow. It's the first time I've done a live link to another city. So this is a really exciting opportunity to tell you guys more about what we're doing here in Cardiff. So ACE, as you mentioned, Dave, we were set up in 2011 as really alongside the CAER project. So one really important thing about the development of our organisation and our values is that they have really kind of been strongly influenced by this this really kind of unique and special partnership that ACE as a community organisation has built over time. So it kind of where ACE and CAER they are I see them as kind of much of the same thing in lots of ways. It's kind of
it's family.
It's family, exactly. It's not just a project that kind of comes and goes. It feels much kind of a more of a kind of a long-term and really kind of quite special relationship. So but back to I suppose our origins. So we grew out of a Welsh government funded programme called Communities First that closed a few years back, and that was really targeting communities on the basis of them being the most deprived as measured by the Welsh Index of Multiple Deprivation. So it was very much focused on communities that were defined really by their deficits, what was kind of going wrong in these communities, what the statistics around health outcomes might be, or the unemployment, or lots of kind of statistical information, which was really defining not just where that program was working. And Ely and Caerau was one of the areas that was targeted by Communities First support, but it was also in a way what the program's delivery was really defined by those deficits, and through that program there were a number of I think quite community members, volunteers, and also staff on the program who really kind of, through that experience of delivering Communities First, began to get, I suppose, a bit disillusioned by this kind of deficit-based approach, and really wanted to set up an organisation which would both carry forward the legacy of the work of Communities First, but in a way try to reframe the work around an asset-based community development approach, which you've already alluded to. So that's really about, okay, what is strong, what are the kind of what are the assets and the people, the places, what actually in this community with the right kind of support, or bringing folk together, or whatever kind of, what was the untapped assets there which maybe could actually make a difference to the community. So we were trying to reframe as an organisation really that kind of old community development model, and really kind of change the way change the kind of the way that we were working in the community. So since 2011 we've done lots of different projects and lots of kind of steps along the road to go from a very small 4 or 5 staff. I think we're in the beginning now to the situation where we are a much more well-established community anchor. We have around 30 staff. We run 2
and that's mostly local people.
Mostly local people.
Yeah.
And also have a large team of volunteers who are doing a whole range of things, from cooking community meals to doing obviously the archaeology, but also supporting social connection groups, men's sheds, a library of things. There's a whole range of practical support and positive activity that happens not just in the 2 centres, but also in community green spaces. And that's very much, I think, we see our role as an organisation is not about delivering services and projects. It's actually about supporting there to be a positive environment, good places and spaces where these projects can be genuinely led by community and kind of grown in the direction that people want to take them. So it's very much, I suppose, a gardening role that we kind of might have. It's about looking after the community assets, bringing people together, supporting networks, making sure that local people have a voice in the way decisions are made, bringing institutions that are maybe sometimes quite distant from the community into the heart of the community. And that you mentioned about the university being here in the community, that's very much true. But I would say now this kind of model and approach also applies to the probation service. We work with the probation service very closely to run their service now as a flagship pilot of community-based probation in the Dusty Forge Community Centre, and that I think really kind of reframes the way that public service is delivered by being much more not just close. So I think across all of our work, it's very much about bringing folk together, finding out what's needed, and then kind of
addressing those challenges. And I was a trustee with ACE for a number of years, and what we're seeing today at CAER Heritage is just a tiny strand of what ACE does, and the breadth of it in terms of, as you said, the activities, all of which applies that asset-based co-creative approach. I wonder, Scott, could we bring you in at this point? And it's really interesting because you're one of those people who's gone on a kind of a bit of a journey and had a life-changing experience through your contact with ACE, but also someone, as a local person who's very aware of the challenges. So could you just perhaps elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that I'm a perfect case study for CAER Heritage and ACE in general. I am a local boy, lived here for the last 17 years. Originally, I was working as a postman many years ago in the local area, and I didn't really do much, to be perfectly honest. Life was a struggle, as you mentioned, that it is in a difficult area. There is very low educational attainment. There is high levels of poverty, including general poverty and in-work poverty, all of which are factors that I did struggle with. And, people do continue to struggle with these issues within the area. And I sort of stumbled across the CAER Heritage project completely by accident. I've always had a keen eye for history and always enjoyed history. And in my spare time, I decided I wanted to do something to get out of the house. And I stumbled across
during the pandemic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So it was just before the pandemic. I started sort of going down to help out and volunteer at the Heritage Centre. It was literally just before the pandemic because during the pandemic, I was furloughed from Royal Mail, and I just sat in the house bored. My 5 wonderful children, keeping me very, very entertained, and I just needed something to sort of take my mind off things and to sort of get my head outside of the house, even if my body couldn't be out of it, So I whipped off an inquiry email to one of your colleagues, Dr. Paul Webster, about doing a short course. And I just something to sort of fill my evenings, doing something rather than staring at the same 4 walls and watching television every night. And it sort of spiraled from there, from sending off one email, turned into doing not only one module, but completing the entire pathway degree, which you, Dr. Wyatt, are responsible for as well. So thank you for that.
Formal.
It's all your fault I am where I am. So and that spiraled into me doing 6 modules on the pathway and then enrolling onto a degree in archaeology, of which I completed last year. And now you
got a first.
Yes, thank you. I got a first class archaeology degree. And now in my day job, I'm a community development worker for ACE. And I also am a self-employed archaeologist, taking on jobs here and there on the weekends and things. So yeah, I'm living proof that the asset-based approach that ACE and the university both take through the CAER Heritage project makes a difference to not only individuals but entire communities. And this whole project really has changed my life, both personally and professionally.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I need to go on a walk and take these guys around the site in a second. But Sam, was there anything you wanted to finish on before we head off?
I need my child. Yeah, I mean, I think just the key thing is for me is how how many good things have come out of this approach of asset-based community development. And one of the things that we've been involved in as a follow-up from the disturbances, I think that both Dave and Russell have mentioned, is that we were involved in a really big community engagement exercise, which was supported by Welsh Government in a way to kind of try and work out what some of the factors and reasons for the lack of trust in the community that was there, which was contributing to the kind of background to these disturbances that happened a few years back. And so we developed the Ely and CAER Community Plan, but that was on the back of conversations with over 1,200 residents, and one of the things that's been really nice about that exercise is that it hasn't just developed a plan and identified priorities of folk. It's actually, through the process of doing that, created relationships, new networks have sprung up, and quite excitingly, it has provided evidence for the local authorities' application to Pride in Place programme, which is UK funding, which will provide I think it's £10 million worth of mainly capital investment over.
And who's from the UK here? Pride in Place? UK government Pride in Place? Yeah. You're a Pride in Place area? No. No. Okay, that's what he's talking about. So they've kind of got this. Like I said, communities first started in 2002. This kind of, the state must do something. Let's put some money into these things, and put park in the politics of that. This organisation is kind of going, whoa, hang on a second. That's not how it needs to be done. Money's great, money, resources fine, don't get me wrong. But it's actually, we're already on a path, we already have an agenda. Oh no, right, I'll get in touch with them, around what people want to achieve here, yeah? And actually, stuff like this project is building pride in that community. It's not like we need to do a whole new of other things and proliferate the number of planters on the high street and hanging baskets and stuff like that. So yeah, they've been a bit cautious engaging with it. And what's been great, very, very early days, what I've seen, other parts of Wales have kind of gone, oh, I quite like how they're standing up to some of this and being a little bit cautious rather than, oh, thank you ever so much, bountiful government. If you have any questions, I'll try.